my friends, I'm Frankie and welcome to Club Food. It's the beginning of spring and I'm still making soups. Of course, they're not as heavy as the ones I make in the middle of the winter. There's a French recipe I like and it's Bourride Provençale. Loaded with flavors, this well-seasoned fish soup is ideal for this time of year. Garnished with fresh chopped parsley, this is a satisfying meal to enjoy. So let's get cooking. First, we'll start prepping our fillets, which can be halibut, cod, monkfish, and so on. So after patting them dry, we'll season with ground sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. Next, we'll cut them into chunks, like this one, which is roughly about a 2-inch piece. When it comes to the bigger pieces, we'll cut them in half. We want them to be pretty much the same size so they cook evenly. Second, we'll make our bouquet garni. So, we'll separate the leaves from the stems and use them for our little sachet and the leaves for later on. Just like cilantro, the parsley stems have so much flavor and are rarely used, which is a shame. Anyhow, so using a little sachet like this one, and if you don't have any, simply use a cheesecloth, we'll place the parsley stems in it, followed by a teaspoon of fennel seeds and a large bay leaf. Then we'll tighten up the little bag and make a knot. If you're using a cheesecloth, gather the sides and tie it up with kitchen twine. All right, so let's move on to the stove. In a Dutch oven over medium heat, we'll add olive oil. And when it gets hot, we'll add leeks, then yellow onions, followed by celery and carrots, before seasoning with ground sea salt. We'll saute the veggies for 10 minutes, stirring often. 10 minutes later, we'll add pressed garlic and quickly saute it for only 30 seconds. To this, we'll add Roma tomatoes and season with freshly ground black pepper before pouring in some dry white wine. Of course, we'll stir and cook it down until the liquid is reduced by half. Next, we'll add the potatoes, pour in some low-sodium chicken broth, although fish stock is a better option. Add our bouquet garni that we made earlier, and season with piment d'Espelette, which is a French spice. It's a type of red chili pepper from the Basque region of France that is ground. The best substitute is cayenne pepper, but if so, add half the amount. We'll stir until the ingredients are nicely blended, bring the mixture to a boil, then cover and reduce the heat back to medium. We'll cook for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Later on, we'll pour in some clam juice, but if you prefer, switch to a dozen fresh clams, and add our nicely seasoned fish pieces. We'll now push them down into the mixture to submerge, turn the heat to high, and when it just starts bubbling, we'll turn the heat back to medium and set the timer for 10 minutes. So, when it's done, we'll gently remove the fish pieces using a slotted spoon and transfer them to a plate. We'll also remove the bouquet garni and discard it. Before adding the next ingredient, we'll check if the potatoes are tender before moving forward. If they're not, we'll cook them for a couple minutes longer. Now, the last ingredient is Aïoli. I wasn't paying attention and I made a mistake. Before adding this garlic sauce, we'll have to temper it. So, we'll pour some of the hot fish liquid in a slow stream into it, while whisking continuously before adding more until the sauce is tempered. Then we'll add it to the mixture. Doing this will prevent it from separating. I was lucky and it turned out fine, but better to be safe than sorry. We'll whisk it until well incorporated, and of course, we'll taste and adjust seasoning if needed. I added more of my mixed peppercorns, which I love, but you can add piment d'Espelette instead, or both like I did. We'll serve it in warm bowls, place a few fish pieces on top, and garnish with fresh chopped parsley. And my friends, this is our Bourride Provençale. Satisfying and so comforting, this French fish soup is so tasty. With a nice selection of flavorful ingredients, this is a great meal to make. I hope you give it a try soon, and be sure to visit clubfoodie.com for ingredient amounts, directions, and more info. Until next time, my friends, bon appétit!